We start out with Gwen activating some sort of device that shows a holographic display with the person on the other end saying that Target V was on the move, and showing a display of a large square being moved into a truck-shaped bunch of pixels before asking what they'd want them to do. Ben says that they are on their way and not to let the target escape. The plumber team then begins to fight with the Esoterica, as Ben and Gwen were on their way already in their armored gear. They managed to hold them off until Ben arrived, and Edwards says that they had served the Dagon well, with Ben calling out that he's hauling around Vilgax, not Dagon. Edwards says that he is unfit to speak their master's name before telling them all to attack. Gwen does some scanning and says that the Esoterica are climbing around on stairs in another dimension and running into doors to hide. Ben nodded hearing that and prepared for a fight, changing into wrath as they started fighting them off together. Edwards sets off an explosive to try to get rid of them, and Ben and Gwen are more preoccupied with saving the plumbers than stopping Edwards from getting away, allowing him to drive the truck out of the facility. Once everyone was safe, we see that they also had one Esoterica that hadn't managed to escape. Once they started to come around, Ben pulled off their mask, recognizing them as Squire Winston, and asked why he was an Esoterica, though he'd said he was mad to believe he would ever follow them. Though he pointed out the outfit, and he says that he needs to report to Driscoll immediately, to which Ben says that's not a bad idea. They meet up with the Knights, and Ben tells them that they got a problem with personnel, showing them Winston in the Esoterica outfit. Driscoll calls him a traitor, but Ben tells them that the Lucubra they fought a while back implanted something into his mind. It wasn't Winston's fault. Winston's eyes turned that strange green again as a voice that wasn't his spoke, calling them all simple creatures so easy to control, and refers to a pretender which Ben calls Vilgax, and the voice says yes, they plan to steal his heart, for it is the source of his strength, and if he gets control of it, then he shall have power enough to rule their universe. Ben asks Driscoll to tell them what's going on, the truth this time, and he sighs, saying that the story of Sir George and the Dragon is more than just fairy tale and a children's story. The original Forever Knight was Sir George himself. He was a noble man who heard tale of the dragon that enslaved many and sought to kill the beast. Gwen says that she knows that story. It was part of her mystic training. He'd carved out the dragon's heart with a mystic blade and banished the creature from whence it came. Driscoll says that is correct, and so long as the blade Ascalon remains in the heart of the Dagon, they will never be free to return to lay claim to the earth once more. Ben says that his grandpa Max told them about the blade of Ascalon when he was a kid. It was one of the holy blades alongside that of Excalibur. The leader of the Knights says that Max is a wise man despite their differences of opinions when it comes to off-worlders. Gwen asks why they don't just go straight to where the heart is to stop Vilgax hearing this. Driscoll says that it's not that simple, as those that had fallen under the control of Dagon had built a shrine around the heart, and it moves between Dagon's world and ours. It never appears in the same place twice. Ben says that they should ask George himself where to find it, but Gwen tells Ben that George has been dead since medieval times. Ben turns to Driscoll and says that he speaks like he knows George personally. He's an immortal. Did he guess that right? Driscoll says that is correct. However, he has gone missing, and they haven't seen him for the past few days. Ben says that they need to find him then. They were shown to his quarters where Gwen solved his calculations, and they were shot in the back for their troubles. We cut to a battle with the Knights and Vilgax getting the sword before being rammed into by Ultimate Cannonbolt. The leader asked how exactly, and Ben asked if they seriously thought he'd be stupid enough to fall for a con job like that. Their armor protected them from the blasts. They just played along and let them do all the work for them. Vilgax cuts part of a statue and throws it at Ben, who was knocked back because of it, and he says that this new power was incredible, though he feels there is still more to be gained. Winston, under the control of Dagon, tells him that there is still more to be gained if he destroys the seal, and Vilgax tells him to show him this seal. Ben, Gwen, and the Knights all try to stop Vilgax every step of the way, and it seems like they may have actually managed it. However, he had let out some sort of strange energy that knocked them back. He then began breaking the seal using the sword, stabbing it into the crack in the seal before vanishing, leaving behind only the blade blade in the wake of a blinding light from the seal that had been broken. The old man that was with them walked over and lifted up the blade as it returned himself to his youthful prime, saying to let the dragon come, for they will be ready just as they were when they first did battle with the beast.